Dose. How are you?
Robert,
It's another weekly dose.
You're taking me completely by surprise.
Welcome.
Oh, howdy doody, Mr. Monster. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I haven't checked my face. I've got fucking stuff all over my tummy. I've got stuff all over my chest. My mic's not sticking right.
You got breakfast there? Is breakfast on your t-shirt?
I've got Lewin on my t-shirt, which
Ew.
is... you was right. A lot of slabs, a lot of stuff going on. How are you, bud? Not lovely to hear from you.
Things are good. Things are, as good as can be.
Well, is it getting better, Rob? Sure, we're out of lockdown and we're heading to summer. No, we're not. That's right. We're still in lockdown. It's fucking winter.
That's true. Oops, you're about 6 months out.
Pardon me, friend.
You're rotating on the other side of the moon or something. Parallel universe.
Well, I'm out. You know what I was doing? Well, the reason why I'm a bit late calling you, I was out with Patrick looking at Mars, this flaming red.
Oh yeah,
sky.
yeah. I think it's tonight and tomorrow night are the big nights for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Couldn't get over it.
Yeah. Cool.
You're going to go first, Robert?
I shall, if you'd like me to.
I know what you're going to talk about.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, I'd say your first story is about the ballerina.
No, my first story is about nothing.
Nothing.
This past week, I know I've been steadily going down with the amount of stories, but this week has been an absolute shit show of nothingness.
I know.
Do you care about a new iPhone 12 that has a bigger sensor and better low light conditions?
I care about it as much as Steve Jobs cares about it.
Except Steve's passed away.
Well, that's how much he fucking cares about
there
it.
You go.
Fringe. There's your answer.
And there's new cameras from Panasonic, Canon. Canon have dropped the price of the EOS 5DS, the 50 megapixel camera. They've dropped it down into the thousands of dollars.
Really?
It's like $1,400 now.
No way.
Yeah. They've dropped it by 60% or something ridiculous, 70%.
For why?
Because there's a new mirrorless megapixel unit coming out. And they're going to dump all those bodies that they already have of those 5DSs.
A nice camera.
Yeah, it's a nice camera. I mean, now's the time to be snatched. If you don't mind, a little bit of slow autofocus and, yesterday's technology.
Yeah.
I mean, 5DS plus, some great lenses.
Yeah.
Great.
And 50 megapixels, just in case you want if you have any space left in those.
On your hard drives.
In your hard drives. Yeah, that'd be nice.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Where are we at, Rob? You know what? Good. Wow, is that the way it works? You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's the way it works. It's the way it works. It's the way it works.
It is.
I'm not sure it's so good for everybody, but maybe it'd be better donating some of that stuff to, I don't know,
schools,
classes. Yeah, wouldn't it?
Well,
I might write them a letter and just say, I have a really good idea. There's some people out there who are trying to educate people who would actually probably put that to really good use.
Yep.
Educational programs.
Yep, definitely.
Hey, Rob, I'm sober. Can you feel I'm sober? Do you get a sense of it?
I'm just drinking grape juice myself.
Really?
Yeah, I've gone through a little bit of grape juice tonight.
I'm assuming there's a lot of Ribena in the belly.
What's Ribena?
Oh, what's Ribena?
Is that like Cabernet Sauvignon?
It's Cabernet Sauvignon for the baba, for the baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know what the equivalent Canadian would be. It's a black currant juice.
Oh yeah, that sounds nice.
Used to rot children's teeth.
Oh yeah,
but since sugar free, so it's probably a lot of aspartame. So probably just mix and climb the wall. I shouldn't say that. That's unfair to Ribena and the Ribena berry farmers.
They'll be after you now. So is Ribena a grape or something that grows on blackcurrant trees or something?
Yeah,
specific.
You ever heard of Ribena?
I have now.
You need to go and Google the Ribena. It's a very special. I'll tell you who grows it the best.
The Greeks.
Grace and Perry. The both of them have 3 awards.
I think they were hanging out with Reeves and Mortimer last week. Is that what I heard?
Reeves and Mortimer. I have never laughed so hard.
We have 2 cats that are names in Reeves and Mortimer, eh?
No.
Yeah.
Vic Reeves bald.
They're white and gray cats. 2 white and gray cats.
Which is which?
Mortimer lives out in the barn.
Yeah.
And Reeves mostly stays in the house. Reeves has half a tail. He was playing with Glenn Danzig in the old house, and we don't know who knocked over a table, but one of them knocked over a table and it landed on Reeves's tail.
Oh no.
So part of his tail had to be amputated.
Same thing happened to me, Rob, 1987. Thank God for it, you know what I mean?
Your tail?
Thank God for it. Yeah. Made me more approachable. You have to be careful, don't you?
So, I have one story.
You're shitting me.
Yep.
Was that first one not your story?
No, that's all just garbage.
Is it like
that's fluff. That's all the fluff that people, all the Nikon, Canon, Olympus, Sony fluff. Oh, Sony now has that desktop app now has the capability of, turning your Sony camera into a webcam. So
no. Really?
Yeah, so that's cool.
Send me a link.
Well, you just have to download the new stuff, the new software, the desktop software. Imaging Edge. Yeah.
Really? You know more about this than I do. I'd still be stuck in a cave if it wasn't for you.
I mean, do you need a webcam? More than your laptop camera, your eyesight on your laptop?
Oh yeah, true. No, I don't actually.
Not really. I mean, if you were hard pressed for a webcam, yeah, you could turn your mirrorless camera into a webcam.
I need that. I would think I'd ever need that.
When you do your little web girls thing.
You've made me feel very dizzy. Exactly.
You get that little 976 number going.
76.
$4.99 a minute, boys. Chris has got his Sony hooked up to his Mac, and he's playing for you all.
Rob, times are tight, and I would never rule anything out. Anything out. It's still, hold on, is that still art?
You can call it whatever you want.
It's a performance.
If you could hang it on the wall, it's art.
You could hang me on the wall. Well, you could have hung me better pre-1987, but anyway. You know what I'm saying?
So you want to hear my one story?
It's about the ballerina.
It's about the ballerina. So in the UK, whoever it was, I don't think anybody's taking responsibility for it properly.
For what?
For that ad.
Oh, the retraining thing?
Yeah.
No? Oh, okay. Well, do you know what? I'll tell you this. That ad's an old ad. I know that for a fact, and it was to do with retraining for... it was specifically brought out to retrain people for working online or something, or working on web or something from the government. It's not an ad that was put out that's linked to good old Rattles, whatever his name is, his latest story, but it fits very well with that.
Well, the whole government is backpedaling on it.
Of course.
And all of those ads have been taken down. If you haven't seen it, it's the ad with a girl, an underage girl.
No.
Yeah. Underage American girl tying up her ballerina shoes in a dance studio. What you don't see is it's been cropped so that the teacher is sitting right behind her. And the fact that the photographer never got any model releases, and she uploaded the image to Unsplash, which is one of those royalty-free photo sharing sites.
Jesus.
So...
free for all.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's so many levels of garbage on this one image. I mean, the fact that the UK government couldn't spend the money to do a proper ad, to hire a UK photographer, to
Why
shoot
would
something
they?
purposeful. What?
But Rob, they don't care about the arts.
No,
It's
they
another-
obviously
it's another-
they don't. They've
another
gotten
nail in the
something for
coffin.
free. They got a royalty-free image for free
Good
of
for
an
them, good for
American
them.
girl who's underaged off a royalty-free site with no model release.
Genius.
Yeah. So, to cut to the chase, the moral of the story is, if you're shooting somebody, get a model release, no matter what. Always get a model release.
Yeah.
And
the
never, ever use royalty-free sites. Never put your stuff up on a royalty-free site. That's ridiculous.
Also, why would the government, of course, they saved themselves how much, Rob, of their £1 billion budget? They trail that off. And they could have taken that as a reference shot and given it to anybody.
Yeah. And what would it have cost them? A day rate of a photographer in London.
In Belfast.
Or in Belfast, or in Scotland, or in Wales.
75 quid.
Yep. Yeah, well. Yep. So
but the person that took it would have to come to us to ask what the crack is with model releases. And
yeah. So the bottom line on all of this is the American photographer who took this photograph, her ass is on the line. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, it's the photographer's responsibility to get model releases. And she uploaded it to that website. She is 100% responsible for this.
Of course, yeah.
So every photographer needs to think about what they're doing with their images. And they need to get that model release, because this is so wrong on several levels.
Is the young girl's parents kicking up about it?
Well, they've said that they're not going to go to litigation with the photographer over it, but they're not happy. But the UK government's already pulled the ad, so it's done. Like, it's gone now. There shouldn't be any presence out there.
They give the wee girl citizenship, mum and dad citizenship, because everybody wants to be part of Brexit, don't they?
Yeah. Can we be part of the UK before it leaves the EU?
Yeah.
So I can get my EU passport?
Incredible. Isn't it incredible?
Oh, what a ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
But you know what's really good, Rob, is all the piss taking that's happening around it. Have you seen the stuff that's going on around it?
Yeah, it's I mean, genius. Okay, so we've only been talking about the people behind the scenes on this ad. What the ad actually says is that anybody in the arts should think about retraining themselves. And this specific ad said that the ballerina never knows. She might have her next job in cyber.
That's what it was. It was a cyber thing, yeah.
Yeah, in cyber.
Rob, do you want to know something really sad? My mic probably fell off 3 minutes ago and it was sitting on my knee.
But I've got your camera. I've got your camera mic.
You got my camera mic. You know what I'm going to do? If I attach it to my white mic, will it make fizzy noises?
What's wrong with your microphone? Does you have a clip on it?
I do have a fucking clip on it. It's clipping my clippers and it keeps falling off.
Well, that's why there's a clip. Just clip it to your shirt.
It is clipped. It's clipped.
Then it shouldn't fall off.
Talk to me. You can't talk to me about technical glitches. This is my first ever one. I could count them in all your toes.
Are you sitting on a wooden chair, Chris?
No, I fucking wish I was. Rob, I'd give myself a wee squeak. Rob, would you like to hear mine neatly fitted into...
Well, are we done with this?
Oh, no, well, they're not. Oh,
well, we can rant some more on this government shit.
Well, of course. Well, yeah, 100% we can.
I mean, the fact that anybody thinks that the arts are worthless and should be retrained. The arts in the UK, I mean, that's behind banking. Behind banking, the arts are probably the second biggest industry. I mean, you think about the music industry, the theater industry, the film industry. My God, How could you, why would you ever, like, that is such an asinine slogan, an asinine campaign to think that,
But Rob,
why would you even think about the arts first? Like, this is the first ad that's come out, and it's come out towards the arts.
Do you know what I've done? I sat yesterday and watched The Bank. I just went in my car and then got out and watched The Bank.
With your mask on?
With mask on, and I just watched it.
And your woolly cap and your sunglasses?
I tried to do a Netflix series on it, and it would be very, very dull. It was just not as interesting as some stuff.
Yeah, no. Like, this is what I've said in the past. I said this whole ridiculous pandemic, this whole pandemic, lockdown, lock the shit down, lock it down from the beginning, lock it down. And who pays for it? Make the banks pay for it. Make the banks pay for it, because we bailed them out. We bailed them out twice in the past 20 years.
You know?
Make them freaking pay for it.
You know, they said fuck, and you should go and sit and watch.
I said freak. I said freak. Freaking pay for it.
You went for the fuck. You know what you need? You need to go into your car and go and watch the banks as well. It's very meditative to see all those people going in happy, coming out sad. All the workers going in sad, coming out sad. Yeah, it's genius, isn't it?
It's like, I mean, one of my favorite places in Belfast is the Mac. I mean, it's so nice to be in there.
You were cross last time, because they were playing pipe music.
Was I?
You were cross. You ranted. What is the music? When did the music start, man? That's you.
But they have like 5 or 6 galleries.
I heard 2 bottles clinking off each other.
Those were the empties on the floor. From the last podcast. They got like 4 or 5, galleries in there. They have at least 1 or 2 great shows at any one time that it's totally worth going to see. You can sit there, you can do a little work on your laptop, you can have a nice coffee. It's nice and bright and airy. It's got modern architecture. It's just
a bit like you're in Dublin.
It's just a nice place to be, to work, to leisure, to like have a coffee with a friend. Yeah, I made that up.
It's good.
But, that's gone. That's gone. 10 months, whatever it is now, 8 months, And to think that everybody that works in that place is on furlough or laid off, and everybody that, is a patron is not appreciating any of that now. And that's just one place, Golden Thread, even Belfast Exposed, like all of these galleries and stuff.
Belfast Exposed is still up and running. The gallery will shut next week.
Yeah.
Well, not this week coming, the following week. But guess what we're doing?
Next week?
Is
it next week? Or today?
No, it'll be open. No, it'll be open next week.
Why is it open next week?
Well, because it's not aimed at galleries. But guess what we're doing?
What's that?
Digital online exhibitions.
Well, that's great. That's great.
You have to move with the times. But I get what you're saying, Rob, and I think, for this government to do what they're doing, I don't know who or where or what they thought the crack was, but they've pissed off now I live in a bubble, of course, every time anybody gets elected, and I'm convinced they're not going to get elected, and I realise I do live in a very beautiful, well-adjusted bubble. They've pissed off every single one of my friends. Because I can't even go into it. Let me neatly go into something, okay?
Okay. You go into your story.
No, well, listen, it's still your story. Oh. I was in. This is from the NME.
Well, we better go into your story soon because we're up 20 minutes.
No, that's because you were ranting there. You went mad.
I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Listen. I'll be quick. NME retrain for another job. Loads of us already have other jobs. Rishi. Okay. Mm-hmm. The Chancellor said recently. We know what they're saying. You should adapt to other lines of employment. Adapt to other lines of employment. another indication of the government's lack of support for the arts. Okay, this is written by Alexandra Haddo, 8th October 2020, and it's on NME. And it basically goes on about, what the crack's happening with the pandemic and everything else. And Alexandra goes on to talk about how, how many jobs they have, okay, how they work, the picture editor, but they also do this, they also do that, they also do the other, as all of us do, fingers in many pies, because you can't, unless you're, as she said, unless you're at the top of your game, you can't exist as an artist. You need to have other things going on, okay? But there's a bit in here, okay? Creatives work hard, okay? Let me just see. The government seems to think that art isn't an industry worth saving, but we're working our bollocks off trying to make something for people to enjoy, and we need it. And it says Britain, of course, but that's Britain and Ireland, have had the worst rescue package, the worst arts rescue package in Europe. And without the arts, like theatre, comedy, dance, music, books, TV, poetry, not only is there no fun, but there's no spotlight on the government. There's no way of highlighting what's going on through culture, and no mirror held up to this utter bullshittery. So that's really important.
Yep.
What they're actually doing is they're actually having to dig at the people that hold them to account. This person's a stand-up comedian, so the article isn't funny. It's a very serious swipe, and whenever it comes down to that, you get actually that there's no mirror held up, because that's what the arts do, not in every sense. You know that old thing, be careful of artists because they hang about with everybody. And in America they were deemed as communists and all the stuff that
subversives.
Yeah, subversives. You know what? Fucking go subversives. I'm happy. I know what I'm happy to be doing what I'm doing. I'm happy to have the fingers in the pie. I'm happy to be worried about my future because I'm dedicated to my art. You know what I mean? And
it makes you happy. Makes you content.
Because it's about life. It's not about going. It's not about me sitting.
It's not about money either.
Listen, and it's not about the poor guys.
Well, obviously, it's not about money.
Well, for artistry, yeah, Christ, I couldn't. What would my art buy me every year? I always say to people, I'm very honest about it. It wouldn't buy me a toaster every year. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Never mind the bread to put on it. But I think that's really important. I think if we weren't feeling, all the statistics about artists at the minute and how they're feeling and how their mental health has been affected, and right at the point where anybody could be helpful, the government get in there and give us all a poke. So I would be really interested to see how many artists in the next few months commit suicide, how many artists in the next few months, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who lose their houses, who do all this stuff. Because it's a really important, valid point.
Who's counting though? Who's going to count that?
Nobody's going to count. Nobody's going to count it.
They don't want to count that.
They
don't want to know that. The government's not going to want to know that.
Well,
because they failed. They failed at that. They've failed at that.
Yeah. Well, you know what will happen? I'm going to make a program called "Shitey People with Shitey Ideas," and I'm going to do a Netflix series, and it's just going to mock the British government. It's going to mock a couple of people in the British government. But listen, Getty Images Creative Bursary. Definitive future. What do you think of this, Rob? Getty Images are
giving grants,
and I stock cash grants worth £20,000 for emerging artists.
In the stock field.
$20,000. Okay, That's not $20,000 to everybody. That's three bursaries of $10,000, $7,000, and $3,000. Getty. They must be having it tight, in fairness, if they're only doing 20,000. What?
If Getty and Corbis aren't making record money during this pandemic, nobody would be.
20,000 quid, and it's put out there. It's on F-stoppers. It's just that I'm not a massive fan, but it's like the three winners will be able to license the imagery created as part of the grant. On Getty Images while keeping 100% royalties. However, the winners are not required to license their image through the agency.
Well, that's good.
20. I know, but 20k, Rob. £7,000, £3,000.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Well, that was £200,000, and then it goes on to say, but they've put.
Well, no, if they did that £20,000, if they did 10, 7, and 3, for 20 photographers.
Yeah.
Or 50 photographers, then that would be... You think about what Sony did.
I know.
Sony dumped what,
Or
$1 million into an arts grant.
Yeah. Or Adobe.
Yeah.
Drop waving the right,
Yeah,
So,
Adobe just did another special. If you don't know this, people, go on Adobe right now. You can get Creative Cloud for, what is it, like 60% off or 70% off right now. You can get the whole Creative Cloud again for £25.
You have to stop it and restart it. Is that right?
Well, I guess, you'll have to do do that again. I mean, that's what they did in the past December, right? January, when they did the last one.
But that's written in the thing. Right, listen, they said they've donated over 1.7 million to photojournalists and creative photographers, since 2004. Fuck, that's all I'm going to say. Right, on to something really positive.
3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 minutes, okay. Nearest Truth, I'm a massive fan of the whole thing.
Todd? Brad.
Very, very, very close.
Brad.
Very close. But Todd's okay. I'm sure if you shout at Todd from a distance, you might think it's Brad. Todd Farham. It's what we have here is Juan, and I think it's Juan, Juan. I'm not going to mince my words.
Juan?
Brenner has
Juan.
There you go. Juan. It's Juan Brenner is a Guatemalan artist, and it's essentially I know, right? It talks about his book, which is called, and I'm going to. Would you hear this here? Listen to this here. Listen to this. You ready?
Yep.
Tonithia. Okay, so it talks about Tonithia.
Was that Google? Was that a Google speech thing?
No, that was me. It was me.
Oh, that was you. Oh, it sounded like Google.
Okay. So what we have is it's him talking about many things, DJ, press, and everything else, but it's also talking about his book, and the book is about Aztec mythology, and you need to go in and have a look at it. Okay, you need to go in and have a look at this. Go in and listen for sure. Go and look at the book.
Cool.
And education, and you know what? It'll take you away from. Well, it's a wee bit like, I suppose it's like the conquistadors in a sense, because that's what the Tories are at the minute with the artists, isn't it? We're the Aztecs and the conquistadors. That
they're
really
the Comanches.
The circle. Jesus, well,
Comanches is.
Couldn't make it up. Patrick and I were watching a cowboy Indian film for the first time the other day, and I had to explain to him about the how it should be reversed. It was John Wayne, of course. We love John Wayne, but you're kind of, you're as a kid you were booing the Indians and you're hoping they didn't catch, but actually in real life,
it's the other way around.
Get them, get the cat. So anyway, but that's where we're at, Rob. I think this week has been good because we have to vent.
Yeah, it's been a ridiculous week. More shutdowns, more lockdowns, just garbage. Garbage.
More artists going to the wall. Okay.
But on a positive note, Belfast Photo Workshops had an amazing workshop 2 Sundays ago. It was so good. I had such a good time. I think that's my best Sunday this year.
I thought you would say ever.
Well, that I can remember.
Say, Rob, did you love me on it?
You were the best.
That's not the same thing as saying you love me.
Chris, it's been great.
Is it gone? Are we gone? Are we time-wise gone?
I'll see you next week.
Well, we'll see me sooner than that. You're next door and you and I are sleeping together tonight. Just tell people this because they're wondering. Oh, Lucky.
No, that's Alan. We're gone.
We're gone? Am I gone? I'm going to move my camera. I'm not gone, Rob. I'm still very much alive.
How are you still alive?
I'm still very hooky
you're gone.
camera.
You're gone.
Am I gone now?
Yeah. Then you didn't start on time.